I saw a cartoon many years ago, the other day. Anyway, I saw this cartoon. I want you to imagine in your mind, right, this cartoon I saw, and it was a chicken and a pig walking down the road together. And they came upon this billboard for this new breakfast cafe or whatever. And on that billboard, they had a picture of a fried egg and 3 strips of bacon. And the caption underneath the picture says, "The difference between participation and commitment." But isn't that true though, right? In so many things in our life, we seem to think that we're committed, but we're only participating. Because we aren't all the way in, right? That chicken participated. He gave an egg. That pig gave the bacon. He was committed. Right? But sometimes in our life, we think that we're committed to certain things, right? And sometimes it's the wrong things. You know, I mean, we sometimes devote ourselves to our job, and everything in our life has to be done for our job and our work and all of this, and we leave our family behind. You see, we committed to the wrong thing. We participate in our job, we commit to our family. See, I used to be that kind of guy. I was a workaholic in another lifetime. In this one, I'm lazy. I'm trying to make up for it. So sometimes we commit to things that don't need to be committed to. You know, and I'm going to say this because sometimes we focus all our energies on a certain thing, a band or a sports team or whatever. You watch on TV at the football games today, and there's going to be people that are all painted up and everything, and they're cheering on the team. And if they come to Mass, they're quiet. I had a priest one day that said, if you're going to go to a stadium and paint your face and yell and scream, you better sing loudly in church. Sometimes we only participate. We're not really committed. You see, as Catholic Christians, we have to remember this phrase, right? And a lot of y'all know I like quotes and phrases and stuff like this, and I share them quite often. So this is one that I heard this week, and I've heard it many times before, and it kind of moved me. It says, just when I think I've surrendered everything, He asks me for something I'm not ready to give up. I'm going to say that again. Just when I think I've surrendered everything, He asks me for something I'm not ready to give up. What is God asking us for today? What is it in our life that separates us from God? What is it that is our challenge in life that we can give up, that we can surrender and move closer to Him? You see, in the gospel we hear about this young man, right? He had all of these possessions. I guess in a way you could say that all of these possessions had him. You know, sometimes the things we own us. Our cell phones were made, the smartphones, I'm going to say it that way, were made to make our lives easier. But in a sense, they've enslaved us because we can't leave home without them. We can't put them down. What are the challenges in our life? What is it in our life that separates us from the love of God? You see, this man walked away sad because he didn't want to get rid of all of his possessions. And I'm going to say this, that maybe reading between the lines in this gospel, you see, God is not asking everyone to sell everything. He's not asking us for the same commitment. We all commit differently. But He's asking us to commit. He's not asking everyone to go off and sell everything and give to the poor and follow Him. He's asking us to follow. But some of us in different levels, different degrees. But He's asking us to surrender. He's asking us to follow. There was a song that I heard many years ago, and I couldn't find when it first was released, published. It's a song by a band, a Christian band called Third Day. And I don't hear too much from them anymore. But anyway, this was a song and I'm going to say it's my favorite song that they sang. And I'm going to read you the chorus. For those who just got scared, I'm not singing. It's not a gift of mine. And I'm not going to punish you with what I have. But the chorus of that song says, take from me my life when I don't have the strength to give it up to you. Then he repeats it. He says, take from me my life when I don't have the strength to give it up to you, Jesus. You see, Jesus Christ is not just asking us to surrender. He's asking us to trust Him enough to help us to surrender. Right? I mean, what did He do for us, right? We look at the crucifix and we see how much He loves us. And He's asking us to give up something for Him, to surrender something in our life that interferes with our relationship with Him. You see, I'm going to tell you that first quote that I gave you, when He asks for us to surrender something, and we've done it, He's going to come and ask for the next thing. Because He wants us to be closer to Him. He wants us to get rid of all of the distractions in our life. And then at the end of the gospel, He tells us the reward. Right? Because Peter had to say it, and Peter was the one, pretty much our first pope, right? Seemed to always have his foot in his mouth. But he came up and he said, well, Lord, we've surrendered everything. What's in it for us? I remember when I was on a safety committee that we talked about the whiffum. What's in it for me? And that's what Peter was looking at. And Jesus says, basically, to put it in a nutshell, God will not be outgiven in charity. Everything we surrender to God, He will multiply for us so much more in the blessings He has for each and every one of us. God will not be outgiven in charity. He challenges us to surrender. He challenges us to fully commit ourselves to our faith, fully commit ourselves to our family, to be fully committed to the one who committed everything for us. And when we ever have to wonder about that, we just look upon the crucifix. And we know how much Jesus surrendered for us. God has nothing but blessings for all of us. And He's asking us to accept it and to surrender. So can we say that prayer, I guess you could call it, from that song? Can we ask Jesus to help us each day to surrender and ask Him to take from me my life because I don't have the strength to give it up? To take from me my life because sometimes I don't have the courage to give it up. Take from me my life because sometimes I don't trust enough to give it up.